Hey, Vikings, I'm Will Zwerneman. I'm one of the assistant editors with the BHS Norseman, and with me here today is Miss Sharonda Williams. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Williams won the Be Remarkable Award this year. So you graduated from Bryan High School. What year did you graduate?
I graduated class of 1991.
Well, what made you want to come back here for work?
Actually, I was called, and I graduated from the program, the cosmetology program, as well. And so there was a time and a point where they were needing a teacher. I was an instructor at that time, had gotten it, but I was full-time in my salon. And I got a call from a couple of the principals, and actually Miss Rose Gregg as well, about the position being open, but they wanted to find someone who could, fill the position. I wasn't interested, but after I talked with them and helped them out by subbing a little bit, they was like, why not you? And so it was a huge decision to make because I was giving up a full clientele to be able to come into the school, but it was probably one of the best decisions I made.
So you had your own salon?
I had my own salon. Then I worked in a salon as well, and then I had my own salon.
That's cool. And now you're teaching kids how to maybe eventually run their own salon.
Exactly.
So what made you really want to come back here?
Knowing that I graduated from here, knowing the training that I had gotten and how I felt about our industry in whole and what we needed in the industry, meaning, what you wanted to produce. And I knew that I could help the industry in general produce the girls or the girls and guys, into our industry to be able to go into just our local area or wherever they really wanted to go. And I knew what I had to give back, what I, throughout the years of what I've learned.
So, besides the salon that you previously owned, you have your own business. How do you manage to balance both working here and having a business like that?
At first, it was kind of difficult because I didn't know how to give up some of my clients, and I found that my clients would work with me as I made this endeavor toward being a teacher at the high school level, which actually changed some things. But balancing it, I'm going to say I do what's necessary to get it done. I care enough that some of my students now actually work in the salon as well.
That's
but
cool.
At the same time, my clients I've been doing for over 30 years. So as long as I've been out of school, the same way they've been with me, So I really think that the balancing is just making sure that you have all your ducks in order. It does get tight, especially if we're doing something after school, but my clients understand.
Yes, ma'am. So what does the cosmetology program here at Bryan High mean to you?
Because I graduated from here, I think it's the heart of gold, if that makes sense. It means a lot to me. I know that the program is one of the best in Texas, and I say that wholeheartantly because I know what we pour into it, and it's important that when you start something, you finish, and painting a picture of what that could look like. But taking that potential of each student and pulling that potential out to show them what they're capable of doing. And that's why I feel like it's the heart of gold because, if you say you want to do something, then I need to help you get there.
Yeah, that's a good line, heart of gold. So recently you were recognized as a Be Remarkable winner. How does that feel?
Very hard because I don't like being recognized. And I'll be honest with that. It's very hard because I do what I do because I love what I do.
Yeah.
And so it does mean a lot to me to know that someone thinks of me that way. My son once said that there's a difference between an impact and an influence. And I realize what that means now. You can impact anyone, but to leave an influence is even better.
Oh, that's a really good quote right there. Yeah.
So it's even better to leave an influence because that means you left something behind that influenced them to move forward in whatever it is they want to do in life.
How do you feel about those around you that, they're showing their appreciation for your dedication to students in the program?
It means a lot because it's saying that it's not in vain. That's what you want to see. You might not always get that, and it's okay. But at the same time, your ultimate goal is to make sure that everybody knows that they can move forward. And whether they do it right now or whether 3 years, 5 years from now, they're like, but I have it. I can move forward. I can use it now. Because sometimes you don't always do what you think you're going to do right now. Like you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then you're like, I'm not sure about that. But then later on you go, I'm glad I did that because I have it to fall back on. And so college and cosmetology can go hand in hand because of the things that is instilled. You can still go to college and be in cosmetology. Yeah. So it's just like waiting tables and going to college. You got to pay for it, but this is another avenue to do it with a certificate, with a certification, something to do with your hands that keeps you going, and your mouthpiece, talking to people as well.
So if we can get a little bit of backstory here, how long have you been working here?
I've been 18 years here.
18 years. And is this your first Be Remarkable award?
This is my first Be Remarkable award.
Wow, have you got any other awards?
I've gotten some other things, but nothing like this to be recognized, and that was huge to me, because I didn't think of, not that you don't think of yourself that way, but I didn't. I'm like, I just do what I do because
I got an award.
Yeah, I got an award. Somebody really nominated me, and I'm grateful for it. I had to learn how to embrace that, and sometimes we don't know how to do that. So that was also an experience, a learning lesson, to learn how to embrace things that are given to you, because you don't do it for recognition. You do it because I love it, and I care about what I do.
So you said influence over impact. What influence do you hope to leave on your students?
The one thing is, this is more than just cosmetology. This is life. You deal with people. You deal with a person's inside and out. In other words, they have an appearance here, but they have something within. And sometimes we have a low self-esteem, and you might be that person that brings that out just by sitting in your chair, or your conversation that you have with them. It's more than just hair, nails. It's building that relationship with that time frame. Sometimes we think of it as, sometimes you're like, oh, they just your trash can and they're dumping all, but you get to take each piece of what they tell you or what you tell them and move forward with it to help you and through life in general. And that's what I try to help my students with, is that it's beyond just hair. Yeah. It's beyond just nails. It's beyond that.
So, obviously, I get my hair cut.
Yes.
And I got a pretty strong connection with my barber and barbers, because you can talk with them and stuff, and they're like, they know what you're doing, and they're cutting your hair at the same time.
And when you find someone in this your hair, your skin is important to you, so you're not going to trust anybody with it, right? And that's what you said. They want to know. So you probably started with your barber maybe young. But sometimes you grow up with that barber or that hairstylist because you've been with them just that long, and they know when you move into the next level and your next job interview, they got to make you look good. You want to be approachable, or the appearance matter. Feel good, look good.
Yeah, they connect
do
with you.
good, right? So that's important. So we know. So you have to know your worth as far as what you're giving back to that person.
So what sparked your passion for cosmetology?
Believe it or not, my parents. I wanted to be a doctor, okay?
Really?
And funny part is that I worked in a salon, and in 8th grade as a receptionist. And I did love being in there and seeing all that was going on. And my parents saw something that I didn't see. So, of course, I'm here. I got out of cosmetology. And my parents called up here and said, "Who told you to take her out? She's not the adult here. We're the parents." And they put me back. So my parents saw something in me that I didn't know. And of course, I still went to college, but I continued as in cosmetology, graduated, and then it just escalated from there to where I am now. So my parents, again, listening and doing what they've asked me to do and being obedient, so to say, to do that, yeah.
Your parents have had a pretty strong influence.
They've had a very strong influence in my life.
So what's the biggest challenge of being like a cosmetology teacher for high school?
I think the base challenge is that you do deal with a lot of different personalities, a lot of different segments of how they perceive and how they receive. So how they perceive it and how they receive it is two different things. And there's so much out there right now. There's so many videos and so many, things that they can watch as a platform.
Yep.
But understanding when that person sits in your chair and teaching them how to communicate and how to take ownership of what they're doing is probably my biggest challenge, because there's so much else out there right now for them to look at and say, they did it like this. But this is the right way of that theory to connect with the practical part of it.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite thing about being a cosmetology teacher?
Honestly, I think just the connection I have with my students, having them for 3 years, building that relationship, building that family, watching them grow, seeing them in their success when they pass that test. I think that's probably my favorite part, to look at their face when they think, oh, I can't do this, and they see that they can, you know. So I always tell them, don't tell me what I can't do, because I'm going to show you what I can do. And that's the whole ultimate goal. So.
And then you just throw them out into the real world.
And, you know, and they can call me anytime.
Yeah.
And they do. They said, I got a problem. So, and I try really hard to connect back with them and give them that ability to reach out when they run into a wall, especially when they first start. But actually the success when they come back, I had a guest speaker yesterday, and she's been gone since 2013. And she has her own business.
It's like 4.
And she is making hundreds of dollars. Like, she's in the 6 figures.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And for her to tell me that it's all because of you pushing me through, that gives me another year to say, okay, I can do this one more year.
So I know you were just talking about that, but how does it feel to see your students succeed through the program and after the program?
Yeah, it actually brings tears to my eyes. And it also brings tears to my eyes because when they use a quote and they come back to encourage the students that are now sitting, and the process of going through COVID changed things. And they got to experience those hard times, but realize they can still succeed. And they come back and tell these students the same thing. The right now students only helps them realize that, oh, it's really real. And, you know, and I guess 18 years, you think, it doesn't feel like I've been here 18 years either. But to see that and them come back, a whole crew, and see where they are. And the other part is a lot of them were managers, like we have duties, and they are managers, or they're running, their receptionists. And now look at them. They're the manager of a store. They're, they're doing the web page for them, or they're doing whatever advertising, the marketing for them. So it's actually rewarding to let me know that I can take that, and that's not in vain, that what we did was not in vain. And what I'm doing is not, but it's not about me. It's about them and making sure they can succeed. As I always tell them, one day you're going to be grown. One day you're going to be a mother. One day, you know, and here's their one day, and they can come back and share.
So is there anything else you want to add about the Be Remarkable award, or like the Cosmo program in whole?
I think that the Be Remarkable award actually opened my eyes to learn how to accept. So another learning experience, how to accept, as they say sometimes, they say, give you your flowers while you are yet living. And that gave me some flowers that I know that the impact and influence, but the influence that I have on some that I didn't even know. I had no idea.
On your fellow teachers too, yeah.
And to be able for somebody to look at me that way and feel that way about me makes me want to keep pushing and being. And as I always say, you know, every day, make it your best day. You didn't do well yesterday, make it your best day the next day, if you get that opportunity. So,
well, thank you so much for being here with us
today. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.